Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your November 2017 love reading. It's Rena here. Christening, I don't know if that's a proper way of putting it, my new deck called Crystal Visions Tarot by Jennifer Glasso. A little bit girly girl, so guys, just bear with me. Hopefully you can appreciate it too. All right, so let's see what we have here. I don't know if you notice this. I've just kind of figured out myself that the reddish backgrounds connect with wands because it's connected to fire energy. So you have this kind of these fiery cards. The Queen of Wands is many of you out there as Sagittarians. The Queen of Wands can be a woman who is a career person. If she has a child, she's a working mother maybe. But the Queen of Wands is a feminine force to be reckoned with because it's going to be out there in the world. There's no question about that. It's not someone who is away from society, or at more home related. So this can be a feeling of self-empowerment for many of you for whatever reason. I'm going to just keep going to try to weave this story, this tale. And in the past position we have the Knight of Wands. So this could be the person who has come into your life. This could be a fire sign, male, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. And this person, in this card, they show him like he's, and that's how they usually show, like he's some kind of warrior. So I always think of Aries, but it's actually associated with Sagittarius, a Sagittarius male then. But he's also associated with sometimes coming in and going out, not sticking around very long, and also maybe being a bit of a womanizer. So how would that feel for you? How does that feel? Is that the kind of person that appeals to you? For some women, especially Sagittarian women, yes, it does, because they don't have to deal with somebody full time. Some Sagittarian women, depending on the rest of your chart, you may be very independent. The Queen of Wands is a woman who is very confident and independent. And maybe somebody in a position of authority herself. So she's not necessarily going to be sitting home barefoot and pregnant. Nothing wrong with that, but she is likely not going to be that. She's more of a career woman, a working mother, if she is a mother, because sometimes queens are mothers. And yet you may have gotten involved with this person who is more independent than you are. And maybe in some cases you thought it was different type of relationship than it really was. Maybe he had a different view of it than you did. And so now we have the Eight of Pentacles. And I love this picture so much. And you see, Pentacles are connected to Earth. And so I'm assuming that the backgrounds of all of the Pentacles is going to be green, which I love because it's so earthy. And so this is, you know, she's at her loom. It's a feminine type of a card. But this is you working. Now, this could be you working at your job, but it could also be you trying to make this situation work. And you may be feeling like, if only I do this, this person will stick around. And I think that's kind of a trap that sometimes, I don't know if I would just say women, but let's just say women, because of the dynamic here that women make, is that they think that a relationship that they're in is different than it really is. And there, you know, it's funny how this is true for all of us. We're living in multi-layered realities, you know, where one person sees the world in one way and the other in another way. And even when their lives intersect in a so-called relationship, for one person it may just be sexual experiences, and the other person thinks, oh wow, we're in love, and this person is in love with me, and they may be deluding themselves. So it depends on what is actually, you know, if you're really in touch with yourself and you really are being honest with yourself. But if you want, and being honest isn't just about the nature of that other person's intentions, but also your intentions. Sometimes people claim that they want something really badly and they really don't. Not on the I don't know if it's the subconscious or the unconscious. I always get those confused. Level. On the level that is not conscious. Sometimes people attract something that they secretly want, but they don't know that. And that includes people that are non-committal. Okay, so the higher message is the Magician card. And I love the Magician card. Let me see how this one looks. God, it seems like they have all these like weird creatures. I mean, I don't know how I feel about this deck. Tell me if you like this deck, let me know. If you don't, let me know also. I mean, it's like, I don't know. But anyway, the higher message is talking about your ability to attract what you want to you. And both of these things can happen. Either you can attract something to you or you can repel it. And sometimes you can attract what you claim you don't want because of your behaviors. Maybe you're not aware of your patterns, or just because of maybe even your thoughts. So do you see yourself as a conscious co-creator, Sagittarius? Or do you think life is happening to you? This is not a trick question. This is like a serious thing to contemplate. Maybe it's a mixture. Maybe sometimes you feel like you're more in control, and other times you feel like everything is predetermined, or you just have to wait. Yeah, and you have to wait around to find out what's going to happen. And when I do readings, I try not to emphasize these cards as being, you know, this is what's going to happen to you. So just sit back and wait for this event to happen, that event to happen. No. I want to kind of just make you think more than anything else, and possibly inspire you, but not to tell you that certain things are going to happen or certain things aren't going to happen. And I think the more that you feel powerful, the better off that you will be, because you will make choices that are based on your highest good, not just on your emotional needs. And I think with the higher message as the Magician card too, that if you feel a little bit like, oh my God, I have to have a certain person in my life, like maybe this Knight of Wands type of person, and that the irony is, the more you feel like you have to have this person in your life, the more that person remains elusive in a way, because this is a person who is elusive. And when you connect with this person, you may feel like, oh my God, this is like what it's all about. And then the person disappears. Maybe they don't call you. Maybe you try to get a hold of them and you can't. And that only makes you want them more. If they were around all the time, you would get a bit tired of them, or all of a sudden they would lose that attractive quality, because you would think, they're always here. You know, you would take them for granted. But this makes you feel that you've got to have this relationship, because it's not something you can really contain. The person isn't, it's kind of like maybe playing hard to get, but that person is not playing hard to get. The person is probably afraid of commitment, or they just are very independent. They may have a career that keeps them on the move, and so they're not settled in one place. It's a very chaotic kind of energy. And sometimes Sagittarius may crave chaos because it feels exciting, but you have to learn the difference between chaos and passion. Passion gives you a sense of possibility, and it's all about inspiration. Chaos or drama is simply emotions run amok, and the unpredictability in chaos is not exciting. It's a bit topsy-turvy, and it is actually agitating to you. So it's very important not to get confused about which is which. The advice is the Four of Swords. This is about taking a rest, taking a breather. What I would say is a meditation retreat, because the swords relate to thoughts, and with four, we're looking at structure. So it's all about gaining control over your thoughts by learning what is prompting them, and that's what organization is. That's what bringing to order your thoughts. Meditation, I think it's a bit much to expect to stop thinking. I don't think that that's possible. I don't even know if that's a wise thing. But when you can gain mastery over your thoughts so that they are not controlling you, then you can be more like the magician, where you are able to direct your thoughts into creating the life that you want for yourself, including the kind of relationships you wish to engage in. And the Four of Swords is also about retreat. So you may want to lay low. You may want to avoid pursuing, chasing after somebody who is elusive, and just going within yourself and maybe replenishing yourself, pampering yourself, getting more rest, staying away, maybe even staying away from electronic stimulation too. And, Facebook, well, yeah, of course that, and getting away from that, and getting away from a lot of debates and a lot of fake drama that kind of consumes us sometimes. These arguments that take us away from our purpose and drain us. And if you feel like, if you're somebody who has been dissatisfied with a relationship because it doesn't seem like the other person is committing to you, you may want to commit to yourself. And that means to spend more time going within and less time in the world. And I feel like if you give yourself this time, that you will become a magnet to the relationship that is right for you, Sagittarius. The outcome is one of those cards that is a real feminine energy. It's associated with Taurus and also Libra via the planet Venus that rules both of those signs. And oh, they're all butterflies. That's so cool. I wonder if those are pomegranates. I can't tell what the fruit on the tree is, but the fruit represents the number 3, which is about creativity. So I love the 4 of Swords followed by the Empress, because it's like gestation period and then the harvest, the abundance of what the Empress represents, which is creativity in all forms. This could be, you know, she is pregnant, so yeah, she's pregnant. So I don't know. I mean, hopefully you're not getting pregnant by somebody who is a player. But in general, without taking that literally, unless you really have been meaning to get pregnant, this could simply be that you are in a good place, you feel replenished, and you feel that you are in touch with your femininity if you're a woman. Sagittarius is a masculine sign, and masculine sign women who are heterosexual and who are dealing with men, obviously, sometimes can create this, or kind of lapse into this situation of being one of the boys. I know that's certainly how I can be, and be like a tomboy and be like that. But the feminine part may be something that is not really, you're not comfortable with for whatever reason. And it doesn't mean that you have to do anything superficially or externally, but simply just, I would say the passivity is enough. So in other words, rather than if you're like used to going after a partner that you feel is not giving you the time of day, or you can't get a hold, how about pulling back? And how about just allowing this person to come to you? And if the person doesn't come to you, then you have your answer as well. The Empress is also about sensuality. It doesn't have to be sexuality, but the other things that make up the senses, you know, embracing the senses, not just being in the head, but the 5 senses, like enjoying luscious fruit, enjoying beautiful scents, you know, making sure that you enjoy like beautiful music, and maybe nourishing yourself. Maybe this has nothing to do with another person, but again, like the magician said, you can attract things to you by honoring yourself and by replenishing yourself. And so the Empress could speak about love, you know. The Empress could speak about finding love for yourself. Yeah, within yourself, but also with another person coming into your life. So anyway, I hope that you enjoy this. It's funny, Sagittarius, these new cards are giving me a whole new vibe. I think they're it's kind of a mystical, these are like mystical love readings. So I'm curious to know how people receive these, but I'm enjoying doing them regardless, because it's always good to try new things and to see how they work out, and also to give different types of messages maybe. So take care of yourselves, guys. Bye.